Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 7, the mid-season finale. We're going to be looking at the opening minutes as well as a sneak peek we got for the episode. Really excited for this episode. Again, it is the mid-season finale, which usually is not the case. I did have a couple people ask that in my last video, but because of COVID, they couldn't film Episode 8, so they couldn't finish it in time. So I think the first half will have 7 episodes, and then the second, or episode 8, will be the mid-season premiere. But that's all good. This episode looks really epic, and I'm excited for it. So we're gonna go ahead and break it down. Like I said, the opening minutes and then the sneak peek. If you haven't seen the episodes or you aren't caught up or anything like that, spoiler warning, definitely check it out. It's been a pretty great season. And then also, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, be sure to subscribe because we still have a lot of content coming up. But other than that, let's get into the opening minute. Alright, so the opening minutes actually does tell us a lot about what's happening. Now remember, and if you watch my review for, or my video for the episode 7 trailer, I discussed the synopsis for it, and I'll quickly talk a little bit about it again. But the part that we were discussing a lot was the part that said Dakota goes missing. And that was a little bit confusing because in the trailer we did see her, so that didn't get answered or anything like that in the trailer, but in the opening minutes it did. But basically in the opening minutes we have Dakota and Strand here, and they're getting escorted back to, I'm assuming, Lawton by all these rangers, and they're having a conversation in the car here. She's pretty upset, I think, with everything that's happening with Virginia, her sister, and because Virginia doesn't really let Dakota do much. Like, she just wants people to watch over Dakota. Like, she even tells Strand, like, you really think all these rangers here are to keep you safe? And Strand says, like, since I'm the one who assigned them, yes. And then Dakota said, they're here to keep an eye on me, make sure I don't run away. That gives us a hint about the missing thing. We'll discuss that in a second because we do see some action in the opening minutes in just a second. Or we actually do see Dakota disappear. But yeah, she says, make sure, they want to make sure that I don't run away. And then she says there are a bunch of toy soldiers, and then she says, they're keeping an eye on you too. She doesn't fully trust you yet. And then Strand said, she will. And then after that, Dakota asked Strand, when are you going to do it? And then Strand says, like, do what? And she says, what you were doing at the Morales plant. And then Strand just says, like, I don't know what you're talking about. So remember, Strand is doing a pretty good job, I think, of playing both sides. Well, obviously, we know he's not, like, a bad guy. I mean, in the trailer, actually, there was a scene where it looks like he was pointing a gun at Alicia. And we're going to get to the sneak peek in just a moment. But Alicia obviously is not, is like upset with Strand and what he's been doing, I think. And we'll see that in the sneak peek, which we'll talk about in just a couple minutes. But really interested in seeing what that scene is all about. Like, why is Strand pointing a gun at Alicia? I do have a bit of a theory, which again, we'll discuss when we get there. But obviously we know Strand isn't like a bad guy or anything like that. I'm sure he's gonna pull through and be with the team. But anyways, yeah, Dakota then says something interesting. She says she basically is telling Strand, like, now's the time to do something. She says, like, we could really run away. Again, that gives us a hint about what's probably gonna happen in Dakota, because maybe when it says missing, maybe she just ran away. Maybe she didn't get captured or something. But she still may have gone captured, and because we still have like some other groups out there. The mass group, and then the end is the beginning group. So we still have 2 groups out there. So maybe they have something to do with Dakota. But anyways, Dakota goes on to say there isn't enough of them to stop us. Some of her troops are dead. Her hand is missing. And Ranger Dory has been missing for a week. So this brought up something interesting because it does look like Fear the Walking Dead is jumping around a lot. Not jumping too much or anything like that, but I think by the end of this season, it's probably going to be like, it's been a while, I think, because I remember even after Dwight and Sherry reunited, the next episode, I think Dwight said something like, they've been together for like a week or something. So they have been skipping around a lot throughout the show. Nothing. I don't think it's anything major though. The reason I bring this up is because there's always discussion about like how close Fear the Walking Dead is to The Walking Dead timeline wise, because we're just waiting for maybe a possibility of something, a crossover or whatever, because now it seems a lot more unlikely just because The Walking Dead skipped so many years ever since Rick left. But again, they're just skipping, a couple weeks here and there, but they're getting closer. So, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I do find that interesting. And then Dakota says, now's the time to do something. So yeah, it looks like Dakota is really not, in favor of her sister, which is, we know her sister, Virginia isn't that good of a person, but I'm interested in seeing if we'll learn more about why Dakota doesn't like Virginia. It might just be because she doesn't agree with the way she's doing stuff, but we'll see. And then after that, everyone kind of holds up because they see a horse by itself, and they know who the horse belongs to, some guy named Terry apparently, and they can't find him. Strand gets out of the car and checks to see if the guy can hear him, but he can't. There's no response. So Strand and this woman, they go check if there's a horde up ahead, and they go up. Everyone is still back there. And then there's a tree on the ground. So somebody cut this tree down, and blocked their way. Now, again, I'm kind of thinking it's hard to tell because both the masked people and the end is the beginning people are not, they don't like Virginia and they don't like what she's doing. So it could really be either of them. But I do feel like it's probably the end is the beginning people, just because that was from last episode. And they're sort of building that up to be, I think that's going to be a big plot moving forward. The masked people, it could be the masked people, but they're with Dwight and Morgan and them, so I don't know if it's going to be them. And I feel like John might also meet up with them. But yeah, anyways, after that, they see all the horses from those people that they were with. They're all running towards them. And they turn back and they, ride back to where the group was, and they see that everybody is dead, and the car that Strand and Dakota were in is missing. Therefore, I guess Dakota is also missing. But here's where things get a little bit weird, and I wanted to discuss this now. I talked a little bit about it in my review, but now I'm kind of thinking that maybe there's something more to this. So when they get back to the place where they were, now I don't think they would be gone for more than like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And even if they were gone for an hour, it still doesn't make any sense. But the point I'm trying to make is that look how fast these people turn into walkers. I talked about this in my review because in my review from last episode, the guy that June was trying to save doing surgery, he turned into a walker extremely, extremely fast. And I kind of even questioned it in the video, saying that how did this guy turn into a walker so fast? Because I'm pretty sure that you can't turn into walkers within minutes. It has to be a few hours. So because of that, from last episode, I thought it was maybe like a fluke or whatever. But then now looking at it, I'm thinking that maybe there's something more if all these guys turn into walkers within minutes. So you guys let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about that? Do you think there's something more? Would that be a storyline they're gonna, focus on Fear the Walking Dead? Or maybe there's something slowly building up? I don't know. I don't think it would be impossible for them to do that because, with the World Beyond and the CRM, they really expanded the show. There's tests, walkers, all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't rule it out. But what do you guys think about that? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'm looking into it too much, but I'm definitely interested in seeing what you guys think about that. So yeah, they get back and Dakota's missing. So what do you guys think about that? Obviously the car is missing, so that means somebody must have driven it away. I don't know. It's a bit convenient because Dakota was talking about running away and then this happened. You guys think that she was part of this, that she knew was going to happen? And who do you guys think is behind it? Like, do you think it's the people, the end is the beginning people, or do you think it's the masked people? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, really awesome opening minutes. I'm going to keep my eye on those walkers because that is something that's really kind of sticking out to me right now. Like, why are these walkers turning so fast? But anyways, let's get into the little sneak peek that we got on for the episode. So this sneak peek has to do with Alicia and Charlie. So Alicia and Charlie, we haven't seen them in a long time. I think we only see Alicia in like one episode, which is kind of shocking. But yeah, they're in this tower. I think they're just watching, that's their job because everyone has jobs at this place. So I guess that's their job to watch the tower. But we hear Strand coming in the radio and saying, Alicia, it's a matter of an emergency. And Alicia basically just ignores him. She takes away the radio. And then we hear Strand again. I think it's Strand. It's hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure that's Strand. And Strand says, Alicia, can you hear me? There's been some unusual walker activity. So I think this walker activity has to do with all those walkers that are attacking Lawton. We saw that in the trailer. I think that's what he's referring to when he says unusual walker activity. I'm not sure if this is. I'm kind of thinking. Well, it probably is after, because those are the opening minutes that we just saw. But because in the synopsis it also said that Strand sends Alicia and Charlie on a mission to try to find Dakota. So I'm thinking maybe that's why we have that scene of Strand pointing the gun at Alicia, because Alicia doesn't really like Strand right now, or like she's upset at him. We'll see that in just a second in the trailer, because afterwards we keep hearing the radio, and then Charlie says he's been trying all day. Should we see what's that about? And Alicia says, how long have you been out here? 6 weeks. What's he done for us? And Charlie said nothing. And then Alicia said that's exactly what we're gonna do for him. So Alicia is upset at Strand, and now Strand needs their help, but she's upset because he's sort of doing his own thing and forgetting about them, and sort of doing things his own way. That's why I think that he really needs their help to find Dakota, because obviously Virginia would get really upset if Dakota's missing, and I don't know if they're gonna tell Dakota that, or I don't know if they're gonna tell Virginia that Dakota's missing, or they're just gonna try to stall it out, and that's why he wants Charlie and Alicia to go look for her. But I'm kind of thinking maybe that's why he's pointing the gun at her. I mean, it might not even be Alicia. Who knows? I have the image up on the screen, but just that jacket, that's Alicia's jacket. So yeah, lots of interesting things this episode. I'm very excited for the mid-season finale. We have the group, the mask group, and is the beginning group, and now Virginia's group, our group. So lots of things happening. I'm very excited. But yeah, that was the sneak peek we got and the opening minutes. So I'm gonna wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions and theories in the comments down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating, and for more Walking Dead videos like this, be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon.